Welcome everybody to the first ever Friar Talk live stream. Pretty excited to be doing this tonight. Basically, my idea for what we could do is just kind of answer any questions you guys have. We didn't really do a preview for the Rockies, but I'll just start with we can just start talking about the lineup. Chase, what do you think about the lineup?
Let me pull it up. Pham, Grisham, Machado, Tatis, Haas, Myers, Cronenworth. I think it's fine. I like Pham leading off, especially with how he's been. It sort of lets Grish, if Pham gets back on, then Grish might see more pitches. And I know Grish is sort of used to that leadoff spot, but I kind of like it having right, left, right, left. We kind of have advantage. Most of our guys hit lefties a little bit better. Myers hitting 6. I'd probably move him to 5 just because he does hit lefties a little better and it's in his favorite field to hit at. Cronenworth batting 7, probably just switch him to 9 and move Caratini down to or up to 7 and Lament up to 8, just because I like the pitcher hitting 8, sort of.
So you like Cronenworth at 9?
Yeah, just because he can be that leadoff hitter, and then him being at 9, he can be that kind of second leadoff to the top of the lineup, which may give Pham more opportunities to get RBIs or just pass the baton on to Grish with more runners in scoring position, which Grish has been a really productive bat when he's healthy. So having him up with runners in scoring position and then either walking or getting a hit with how he's been and passing it to Machado and Tatis is just it pieces better together, in my opinion, than just having a pitcher that's almost like guaranteed out batting 9. Rather him get 8 and then be like, okay, cool, we can either start off a rally with 2 outs with the 9th hitter, or because in the end, you're only probably going to get 1, 2, I doubt even 3 at bats from your pitcher. So, and then normally what the Padres do anyways is that they switch up where they put the pitcher. So it doesn't really matter if he's batting 9. So why not just put your leadoff there and have more stability at the lineup?
So I like when they do that with Profar, but I don't know about Cronenworth, just because I'd rather have – I mean, honestly, the way that everyone's been swinging now, I'd rather have Cronenworth ahead of Hosmer and Myers just because they've been slumping a little bit. Though Myers has had a few hits the last couple games. I don't know. Isaac, what do you think about – someone was just saying Hosmer's still in the 5 hole with his current slump. Why not move him down and move Cronenworth up? That's what I think should happen. Any concerns with Grish in the 2 spot tonight? I like Grish in the 2 spot. I think that if you can go – Grish, Machado, Tatis in any order, I love that. I love when you have the best bats back to back to back. I don't know if we were talking about it on air, Isaac, and I know that you weren't on this recording when we were talking about this, Chase, but Isaac, do you remember when we were talking about how we don't think there should ever be a gap between Tatis and Machado? I kind of feel the same way with Grisham.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, I mean, the thing is, someone brought up how Hosmer's still at 5. It seems like throughout his time in San Diego, he could be batting 90.90, and they will not move him from 4 or 5. I just feel like that's how they are. I don't know why. He's not doing very good right now. Overall, looking at this lineup, though, Tommy Pham is, and you can make an argument for Tatis. Of course, we can all make an argument for Tatis in the power aspect, but just in terms of getting on base, getting base hits, Tommy Pham is surprisingly our hottest hitter, and it's really not even that close. Trent Grisham coming back is probably, we talk about it, we think Grisham is a star. Obviously there's going to be a lot of differing opinions. He's one of the most underrated stars in this league for sure. So having him back in the lineup, especially, off this skid is huge. But the rest of the lineup, it's actually the same lineup that we saw the first game that Grisham was back in, I believe. But hopefully we see a great outing from Lamet today, 5 or 6 solid innings, and hopefully we see the lineup really come around and put up maybe 7 or 8 today, just to wake up the offense finally against a very vulnerable Rockies team.
I like that. I mean, I hope that's the case. We have a couple trade questions too. So people asking about Joey Gallo rumors, and then someone else asked if we could pick Gallo or Winker. 100% Winker for me. Obviously, the price would be a lot more. So if you add that, you can start discussing. I do think there's a chance with the Gallo stuff. Because if you guys, I maybe like a week ago, Gallo was leading. It was either the American League or it was just the whole league in walks. So he does strike out a ton, but if he's walking more than anyone in the league, that means that maybe Preller sees some type of mechanical issue that maybe he could fix. I think if that is the case, then Gallo becomes a lot more appealing. Preller sees some type of mechanical.
Sorry, I'm trying to look at the questions.
But yeah, so I think that's the way you go with Gallo. But if that's not the case, I think going and getting Winker like as the sure bat, like the sure thing, I like that a little bit more.
Yeah. Any concerns with Grisham, the 2 spot? No, he's legit. Gallo, I want to touch up on Gallo too. He's a great power hitter. I just don't like strikeout machines. Like, it's funny. I was looking at his strikeout numbers and I saw he was down to 44%. I don't like that. I mean, he was like 2-3 feet away from hitting a go-ahead home run yesterday against the Dodgers off Kenley Jansen. But that's really just about your preference, whether you like guys that can hit bombs and strike out, another half of the time. That's just on you, whether you like that or not.
Padres, someone's saying he's like Hunter Renfroe for a little bit. I kind of like that.
Yeah,
it's similar type of player.
He would definitely be a better Hunter Renfroe. He gets on base more than Renfroe. He probably hits more bombs than Renfroe. They'd probably be about the same defensive wise because Renfroe was a Gold Glover. He's just lefty, and I'd say he's probably a little faster because Joey Gallo actually has some wheels because he would steal some bases for the Rangers, and he would play center. And I'd actually be okay with him playing center. Renfroe, I was scared every time they put him in center field. I was like, this is not going to end well for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody asked, if you had to pick one, would you pick Gallo or Winker? Easy choice for me, Winker. Top 3 in All-Star candidates right now. He's having an amazing season. Would love to have Jesse Winker. I don't think he'd cost that much, but maybe he would just because he is in the All-Star voting. Yeah.
He's having an MVP season. He's going to cost more than you think, though, everybody.
hey, but look, I'd rather pay up for him as long as it's not Abrams, Gore, Campy. I'd rather pay up for him than go get like Gallo. I want to win, dude. I think this guy's the one.
The 2 outfielders I want are Starling Marte and Josh Harrison, just because Josh Harrison can play everywhere. He's a solid bat. He gets on base a lot, and Starling Marte is an all-star outfielder and still is.
There's an outfielder with the Orioles right now that everyone was talking about that is getting snubbed in the All-Star ballot. I forgot his name.
Cedric Mullen.
Yes. I don't know about that guy. I don't know too much about that guy, but I saw he was only on a 1-year deal for $577K.
He's good.
And we're talking about guys that could be good depth pieces. I think he could be a good depth piece, but what would he cost considering he's having a really good season supposedly?
And how many years of control does he have? Do you know?
It was just a 1-year deal. I'm not sure about after that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Also have a couple people asking about Grisham. I feel like we haven't talked about Grisham coming back really. So someone's asking, do you think Grisham is our equivalent of Turner in terms of producing team consistency? If you mean like kind of how like Turner is like always there hitting 3 and he's just like always in the Dodgers lineup and like the team plays better when he's there no matter like how he's doing. I feel like Trent definitely brings that energy and that kind of like momentum. So if that's what you're asking, like definitely. We all love Grisham. We all think Grisham is a superstar. Yeah. And I know a lot of people are like, that's too early, but go ahead.
I say if he doesn't get it done with the batting game, he'll finish it up with the glove in the outfield. He's 100%. Just such a steady piece in the outfield. Like we've seen our center fielders when he's not there misplay balls, but if Grisham was there, he'd make that play and it changes the outcome of the game.
Trent Grisham is like one of the most electric players on our team. I think he used to have that thing last year where he'd hold up he'd hold up the 3 like this if he just hit 3 home runs or anything like that. He was really cool. He's such a cool player to watch. People compare his numbers to Grady Sizemore. Pretty good comparison. So we love Trent Grisham. We think he's a star in this league for sure. Daily All-Star voting. I'm gonna do that today.
I've been busy, but I'm gonna get on that.
Someone's asking about Joshua Mears. The thing I'll always remember about Joshua Mears is just that bomb that he hit in spring, because that ball was absolutely killed.
100%.
How old is Joshua Mears? He's pretty young, right?
I think so.
20, I think.
He's playing for the Storm right now in single A. Yeah. So he has to be pretty young. Somebody said we need to pick up Ketel Marte, but he might be expensive. Isaiah said that. Honestly, we were talking about this. We don't think the Diamondbacks would give us Ketel Marte. Just because he's one of the most consistent bats in this league, I think he's a very good bat, and I don't think they want to face him for the time being that the Padres are one of the best teams in baseball. Padres are swag, yeah, they are.
Mike Trout and Otani for Petco Park. Who declines that? I'll play Anaheim if we get. Are you kidding me? That's an ace pitcher and the best player in baseball. I would take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, don't think the Reds will let Winker Castellanos go. Yeah, that'll be pretty tough. I agree.
It's so hard to talk trade candidates right now, just because we have another like 20, maybe 25 games before we find out who's actually sellers at the deadline, because the deadline is July 1st.
Right.
And up until then, the Reds can swing either way. Miami's pretty solidified in the last right now. So if the Reds are like swing candidates where, hey, we can win after the deadline, they're not selling their guys. And even if they're right there on the cusp of, hey, you may be one piece away from pulling something together, they still won't get rid of their guys. So they have to like lose from here on out for us to get Castellanos or Winker. It's tough for them.
Yeah.
I think there's only a couple teams like that. And I feel like two of the few teams are in our division and probably aren't going to be trading with the Padres. Just doesn't really make sense to do that. Isaac, you had a question?
Jason brought up that the Padres have not had a start in the infield at the All-Star game since 1998. The Padres haven't had a starter in the All-Star game for a really, really, unless it was a pitcher, the Padres haven't had a starter since Tony Gwynn. It's been a really long time. So, Tatis is somebody brought up. No. So someone said, someone said if Tony Gwynn is Mr. Padre, Fernando's going to be Mr. Fryer. And I was like, dang, that's pretty cool. So, yeah.
Let's see. Oh, we got some Mets fans talking about Familia. Yeah, he definitely didn't help you guys out too much. He got booed off loud. That was pretty intense. I'm not going to lie. I kind of felt for him.
Dude, imagine if you guys had Craig Stammen, what you guys would do to that poor man.
Oh, God. Was that 2018 or 2019?
Oh, the 4 home runs? Oh, my, 2019.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so mad. Yeah. Starling Marte. Yeah, Chase really wants Starling Marte.
I do.
Live in LA, if you're a Padres fan, you're doing it right.
So the only sellers right now would probably be the Nationals, the Diamondbacks, the Pirates, the Orioles, maybe Minnesota, and the Rangers.
Oh,
Miami might be there for the swing right now.
Chase, who was the other guy in the Nationals you were talking about potentially trading for?
Sure.
Oh, he's Josh Harrison. Oh,
Harrison.
yeah. So what do we think it would cost for Scherzer and Harrison? A lot?
You probably have to give up, I'd say the number 6, maybe the number 9, and probably another top 15 prospect. And maybe and no, they wouldn't take Tucapita, but they would probably ask for a MLB ready player as of right now, which it might cost like a Cronenworth in prospects, just because they'd probably want an MLB ready player or an MLB starter.
Yeah, I don't know about giving up Cronenworth. I'm very against that. Too many years of control. Just very, very consistent player. We were talking about that a while back because he was in the offseason. I felt like he was getting brought up in so many like potential trades. And I don't know. I do not want to trade Cronenworth. I think that'd be a bad move. Just because I think not that he doesn't slump. He definitely slumps hitting wise, but his approach is always the same. It's identical every time. Like he's not chasing. What was the thing? He had like 3 missed pitches, like swings and misses in like a month and a half into the year. It was something ridiculous where he was just on fire basically. Someone said I think Myers would be on the chopping block before Crony. We actually haven't talked about that in a segment, but that was something we were talking about like just together, like because we all love Myers, and I talked about it with I was saying like Myers, Tatis, Machado. Those are like the 3 main guys I think of when I just think of the San Diego Padres. Like those are the guys because I feel like Myers is the face that's just been here for so long, but his numbers right now in terms of average and on base and stuff like that are pretty close to his career averages. The only difference is that he usually hits more home runs at this point. So it's getting scary. Also, he was pinch hit for by Hosmer, which is kind of weird. Like if this is your like one of your core pieces, you don't pinch hit that guy ever. Like we're never going to see Machado get pinch hit or Tatis get pinch hit. So even Grisham, I don't think you ever see Grisham get pinch hit, at least at this point. So I don't know. That's one that I'm really hoping that Myers gets hot. And Chase, you were talking about it though. You said that this is the series that happens because he loves hitting at Coors.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Myers and Cruz Field just go together. They're two peas in a pod. And someone did in that when we're talking trades that we need to be careful because we're at the luxury tax threshold, which is a good point for if we do trade, we might have to trade a guy and get some money back, or, we could just give up a reliever and get some money back, or trade for a guy that's cheap like Josh Harrison and Starling Marte. I don't think he's not too expensive of a deal, but Scherzer we would have to ask the Nationals to eat up that contract, and I don't know if they're willing to do that without getting a top prospect and somebody that's ready in the major leagues, and I don't know if Myers would be that person.
Yeah, so there's a lot of Cronenworth supporters on here. That's good. We love Jake Cronengod. Jake Cronengod is too valuable. Adam said Myers walking on eggshells. Cronengod is too valuable. Yeah. Will Myers, we all love Will Myers, but he needs to heat up, like starting soon, because right now we're in the thick of things with the Giants and the Dodgers. So right now it kind of seems like we can't have that mentality. Oh, it's only June, because both of those teams are very hot right now. So we got to stick right with them. And definitely, the guys that are going to be bringing a lot of runs are going to be Hosmer and Myers. So those guys definitely need to heat up. Trade to Cupita, completely agree. I think he's guaranteed to be gone if we make a trade this year.
And Profar, I think Profar could be moved.
Yeah.
Just because he did have a great at bat yesterday, and it was a walk, didn't get a hit, but he's just not hitting well at all.
Mm-mm.
And Chase, you were saying it's closer to what he's been in the past than 2020 was, because that was more of an outlier year, which is always scary. And then back to Myers. Some people are saying like you can't trade him; he's part of the team. That's why I feel like he's one of the core guys. I feel like that would be like a big blow to the whole fan base, especially people that were, watching him and Alexi Amarista and some garbage teams, because he's been the dude that's been there for quite a while. AJ's one of his first trades. So, Pham. People are talking about Tommy Pham. Pham has been really, really good. And if there's anyone that I thought was definitely going to be moved that is kind of forcing that not to happen, it's Tommy Pham, just because I feel like they want to move on from him. Just because, remember, AJ Preller is a big guy about control, and Pham is almost done. So, I don't know. But he's been balling out. Someone said in the last 22 games, his on-base percentage is .458. Like, over the last 7 games, Isaac, you said it's over 500, right?
It's over 500. It's like 521. It's insane. You can't move him from the leadoff spot until further notice. Until, like, something happens, you can't move him. Yeah, I remember that guy. I actually like him. I kind of like that. I believe when he was still around, I believe something happened with his wife. I completely forgot what happened, but I really liked him. Maybe not just for his talent, but because he had a tough mindset. So he was pretty cool. I like that guy. Yeah. Pham is a bad teammate. Completely agree, but he's cool at the plate.
Hey, what do you guys think about Kim? Do you think he's possible to trade right now? I was thinking about it. I'm like, what players could be considered MLB ready that teams would want? And Kim pops into my mind, but I don't know how much he would be really worth to a team that's not in contention. I know he's somewhat cheap and got years on him, but he's really unproven.
So I would say this. I would say that for Kim, I think there's a couple things that are kind of factoring into it. One, Kim is, I feel like one of the things that the Padres are doing just from a business standpoint is they're trying to be a international type of team where there's a lot of other countries that are involved. I mean, Darvish is a star in Asia. So like if you get more guys like that and you're kind of building that up, one, I feel like he's making a lot of money back for the team, just gaining viewership and gaining following, across the globe. Really, that's what I think they want to do. But I think as on the plate, Chase, we were talking about it. You said that you think he might be able to get up to 240 by the end of the year. I think that's definitely possible. I think that Kim is. I really like Kim. I think Kim's gonna pull around,
I love
even
Kim.
if he's not hitting that high. Like he was signed as a depth piece, and to kind of push Cronenworth, and Cronenworth is just continuing to excel. So you kind of have like he's been a good backup infielder in my opinion.
Yeah, it looks like some people I see trade him. He's trash. He just feels good. I mean, I wouldn't say he's trash. It's just it's really hard to come from somewhere where, people with the highest you're going to see is 91, 92. And then you're coming and you're facing Jacob deGrom throwing 102. And, you're in the same division seeing Kershaw, Bauer, Bueller. So, maybe he's not too hot at the play. The average doesn't show right now, but he had a little stretch where he was coming through a lot with runners in scoring position. Great fielder, though. You're absolutely right. But I could see why you're kind of up in the air on him at the plate. But we really like him at the plate. We think he's going to be a solid depth piece for sure. Padres taking the World Series. Go for it, Chase.
Hey, do you remember Jung Ho Kong on the Pirates before everything went down with them? If he can hit like right around there, 250, 260, and be with the glove and show some pop in the bat, he could just be like a guy that we can trade away, if not keep him as a depth piece, because Profar is showing that maybe last year was a fluke, and I don't want to say that, but he is much closer to his career average. And I think Kim has more upside at this point and is younger.
Yeah, I completely understand why, for sure. Let's see.
Also, we were talking about our Kim vision, that we definitely see him coming up, pinch hitting in the playoffs, getting a clutch hit. Just like where he's going against some guy that's like, wipeout stuff. Or maybe Kenley Jansen, someone with not quite wipeout stuff anymore. Yeah. Hopefully that guy, because that's been the guy the Padres have been able to pick apart.
That'd be beautiful. Kim is good when the starter's taking a day off. Completely agree. Beautiful depth piece. I love that. I love him when he's taking over from Machado, Tatis, Cronenworth. Is anyone in the chat right now going to any games soon? I know Chase and we're planning to go to Dodgers Padres on the 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're thinking Blake Snell's going to pitch. I think it's going to be a pretty good game.
We'll see. Depends on how Snell ends up being. He's very inconsistent. Though his home numbers, I think his runners not much. So I wonder if he's very uncomfortable with the NL stadiums because he hasn't pitched in them a lot. I wonder if that plays a factor into them, because when he was in the AL, he's probably got used to the stadiums after a while, but the NL's like a whole new beast to him, and Petco's like the one place he feels comfortable. I don't know if that's playing into it or not, but that was just a theory I came up with for the home road splits.
Yeah, I see a lot of people going to the Dodgers Padres the 21st.
Dude, I've seen like 6 people pop up on here that said
that's sick. We're gonna be there. I think it's gonna be a really good game. I think it's gonna be very exciting. I'm hoping to see a sold out crowd for sure, and I hope I'm thinking Tati's gonna go up there, bases loaded, hit a walk off slam. So live in Washington.
I see a couple people saying that they're going to the Nationals game. I'm probably going to go to that whole series because I'm only going to be in San Diego for July, and it's like the least amount of home games. So I'm just going to go for like pretty much every day I can then.
We'll catch a Nationals game, Carlos. Don't worry. Got you.
Manny and Tatis going yard confirmed. Yeah, we're willing that here on Friar Talk. Everyone, since everyone's going to the game apparently.
We're brown. Hey, I don't have the brown yet. I got white. Yeah, man.
I have the old blue, and like the tan, and then just this one.
Yeah.
I got a beige. I got a blue, white.
Yeah, I got the batting practice Tony Gwynn, and then I got the Tati one, the white Tati. Sam, the hardest one. It's just because you have that one, Adam. Let's see. What's your favorite Padres jersey? The white, for sure.
Oh, we just talked about that today. But Chase, you didn't talk about it because you weren't in that segment. So you go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll give my opinion. I think it's an excellent move. He was kind of showing, I don't know if it would be considered fatigue or later on in the games, like he would start to walk people in the 4th and 5th, and that's when he would give up the run. So maybe he can just be used in a prolonged reliever like Stammen was used. And then you can still piggyback with like Lamet or someone if Lamet has to come out early or anybody that has to come out early. Or you know what, if you're up 3-0 and your starter goes 6 innings, you can just use him to close out the game. You save the bullpen in more ways than one. It helps limit some guys' innings if you want to limit some innings. I think it's a great move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were talking about how he could possibly be our Josh Hader, but I mean, obviously, maybe a little less. Don't flip out on me. I know he's not Josh Hader, but
hey, okay, but let's like talk about what we've seen from Weathers, because Weathers has, I mean, he's a pitcher and he doesn't pitch a ton of innings, so he won't win Rookie of the Year. But his numbers are Rookie of the Year like.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a top end prospect. I don't know. I'm really high on Weathers. I think he could be a piece like that. Maybe not quite that caliber, but like a top end bullpen arm. What was that?
I said Devin Williams won Rookie of the Year over Cronenworth. Don't count him out.
Yeah, out of the bullpen for sure. Speaking about jerseys, what would you guys put for a Padres City Connect jersey? I think Slam Diego is probably the most obvious one. The thing is, I'm kind of scared of how they're going to look because our coolest jersey, I think we have the best jerseys in baseball. Some people say we look like UPS drivers, but you know, it is what it is. We need weathers.
If we're talking favorite jerseys, though, mine has always been the white with the blue and orange pinstripe.
Oh, I love those. Yeah,
that one, that's probably the sweetest one.
Yeah, those are my favorite. Somebody said yeah, I think Slam Diego is the most obvious one.
You could also do like America's Finest City or something like that, maybe. Cool. But I feel like Slam Diego, it would end up being Slam Diego.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody said we need Weathers to pitch against the Dodgers. Dude, you remember Eric Lauer? That dude was our Dodger killer. And now it's Ryan Weathers.
What are our predictions for this series? I think we take 2 out of 3. I think the offense comes back. Grisham kind of just shows up and puts himself into the lineup and shows that he's like our rock. Myers, I hope, comes back. Hopefully some of the other bats come back. I don't know how Haas is going to do against the lefty today since he's already been struggling. But after this, I'm hoping he starts to get back into place. But if Myers can come back into place, all our outfielders would be okay. And then our only real hole right now would be first base, which we can sort of figure that out as we go because we have multiple guys that can replace Hosmer for now.
Snell versus Bauer the 21st. It was looking like it was going to be Snell versus Urias, and I was thinking it's going to be cool that it's going to be Urias because, you know, Tati's already taken Kershaw deep, Bauer deep, Buehler deep, May deep. So last guy on the list, got to cross him off, you know?
Yeah, I think and then I'll go back just to this series. I think you have to take 2 or 3. You can't lose the series. They've been struggling too much. The Rockies are not a very good team at this point. The Padres, they need to start hitting. And we were talking about it. And this whole segment that we just that I'm talking about right now will come out tomorrow morning. But it was just basically like how to fix the lineup. And one of the things we were talking about was actually all the sticky stuff and just how all of the spin rates are so like much higher. And a guy like, for instance, like Machado, I feel like when I think of Machado, like what is Machado? When does he rake? It's off speed. And if the off speed pitches are really as crazy as guys like Nando said he's seen pitches he's never seen before. And then on top of that, the other thing is the balls aren't as juiced as they were before. So you have all those kind of issues kind of limiting the hitters. And then you go to Coors and it kind of balances out just because we know how many home runs get hit at Coors. So I feel like that's the best place to kind of wake up the offense. But I don't know if it's going to be – I don't know if until like there's changes to the ball and like the spin rate and stuff, how close the Padres can be back like to what they were last year in terms of just like home run after home run because last year was insane. But think about how many balls this year have been hit to the back end of the warning track.
Oh,
like especially from Machado and Pham.
Pham would have double digits home runs right now.
Dude.
He would probably be like the least hated Padre ever. Because like that first month, he probably hit like 10 to the warning track that were just like 5 feet away from being on.
Yeah. I really like this question right here, only because I'm a big Paddock fan. I do think we take 2 out of 3 from the Rockies, though. I think, you know, it's a big opportunity to start getting hot. What did you guys think of Chris Paddock? The Mets were over 6 with runners in scoring position against him in 6 innings. We talked about that in in the recap, he was phenomenal. I honestly thought it was his best start of the year, even though he allowed 2 runs. Just his stuff, his fastball, his changeup, everything looked beautiful. So I'm really excited to see what someone said. Judd, yeah, I'm really excited to see what Judd does.
Chase Isaac, I don't know if you guys saw, but I tweeted out humble Paddock over non-stick Bauer because he's looked completely different.
Oh yeah, ever since, dude, I don't know what they did with him when he went to the IL, but it worked. Do it with Snell.
Dude, he suddenly has all his confidence back. He's throwing his curveball better than ever. His changeup this last game looked so much better than it has. There was so much more movement, so much more breaking into righties and away from lefties. And then his fastball has just been electric. It's been back to what he was in 2019, which we need. And if he comes back to that form, you know what? Having our 4 starter with like a 3.3 ERA, that's amazing. And then hopefully Snell bounces back. But oh my God, it's been cool to watch.
It looked like he was at the beginning. I mean, of course, he had the dominant start against the Mets the first time. And then last game, he got out of that bases loaded jam and it was like, oh yeah, he's rolling. And then he came back out and it was brutal after that. But for him, it's just the consistency because he has the stuff. But Chase, he started throwing his changeup again. And you were talking about that. And then he said he put his changeup on timeout and then he brought it back.
He said, I'm going to put my changeup on timeout 2 days and then let's see how it acts up again. And then apparently it was acting fine in bullpens because he brought it back. But I really do think he just needs to focus on his 3 pitches and then his location because we saw from that one game when he put his changeup on the back burner and just used those 3 pitches and was pumping his fastball a little bit more. He was getting his swings and misses. They were sort of making weak contact and it was perfectly fine. And then when he adds that changeup again, I was watching the game and I don't know if you guys understand, almost all of them were balls and they weren't swinging at it like they would the slider or the curveball.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. It's really weird how his home and away splits are so like, there's a significant difference with them. But
yeah,
that balk killed him for sure. Hopefully Snell picks it up here soon, though. He needs to just be the ace caliber pitcher that we thought he was going to be. And at home, he looks like an ace. Away, completely different story. Hard to believe that allowing a hit to the pitcher, Jacob deGrom. Well, it seems like the whole league's allowing hits to Jacob deGrom. That dude's just on a different level right now.
The accusations on Lamet.
Oh, I didn't even know there were accusations.
I haven't heard any accusations, but I don't think there really can be any placed on him because his slider has been really consistent from when his first year on the Padres before he had Tommy John. It was still that nasty slider. He still was an upper 90s fastball. You could argue that maybe it breaks a little more than it did before, but I just chopped that up to him becoming a better pitcher because he was a way better pitcher now than he was before. And he kind of stopped using changeup that he had before, so he really could put more time into his slider. So I don't want to believe it either. I don't think Lamet uses any sort of substances. I think he's just good of a pitcher.
Well, and even like when he had he still had good stuff. I remember really watching, making sure to watch every Lamet game because I've said it before, but Chase, you were hyping up Lamet a long time ago, and I was always intrigued by him. Even he had a 5.5 ERA his first year, but you could still see how good he was the first 2 times through the order, and then they would kind of start teeing off on him. I remember that his first, I think the third time is he would just get killed every time he would go through the order the third time. But also someone said the accusations on Darvish too. I would also say it seems like pretty much the whole league is using them. So they're not really accusations.
Safe from these accusations right now.
It seems more like a league-wide issue than specific guys. Except, of course, everyone's going to talk about Bauer using them. And I feel like the biggest reason is because his numbers change so much throughout his career. So I mean, of course, that's going to be the case. But you never know if that's really what's making him better. There could be multiple reasons, but yeah, they have been touching. There's that one graphic of Darvish where he's rubbing into the glove. I think that's the one that got big. The Cole interview, The Cole interview is so funny.
God.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Dude.
It's like a 30-second
the way
clip, and he says 2 words.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
He's like, how can I say that everybody in the league does it at the same time I do without getting myself in trouble right now?
Yeah,
he
dude.
really had to think about his answer.
Game is starting. We'll be on there soon. Yeah, it was hilarious. It's like you don't want to rat everyone out, but everyone uses it, which sucks. It's already hard enough to be up there as a hitter.
Wait, hold up. I got a question for you guys. So this has been a discussion between me and my uncle because he's a big baseball fan. He was saying that we switched the balls back to how they were, where there was a little more juice in them, but then legalized the substance for pitchers so that when the batters do hit the ball, there's more of a chance of it going out, but then it also keeps the strikeouts within the game.
I feel like that's like I feel like I don't know, because then that's just like extreme. That's like if you like turn up like attributes in like a video game, so it's just like crazy stuff's happening. I don't know. I feel like
their pitchers would still be dominant and the batters would still be hitting home runs. It sort of levels out the playing field in that aspect if you switch the balls back and legalize this stuff for pitchers. What the MLB should do, and if they don't want to do that, is they need to find something better than the rosin bag.
Oh, dude, definitely.
Is that supposed to be for grip and to help you spin the ball and whatnot?
Yeah. It's just so like you can dry your fingers and get a better grip on the ball for when your hand's sweaty. Or that's why I don't know if you've ever watched Jose Fernandez pitch or like notice it. When he was younger, when he was playing in Cuba, all he could do was like spit on his hand and rub dirt, or he would get water and rub dirt on his hand so that it would dry it out and give him a better grip. So you'd look at his pants and his thigh was covered in all dirt, and he'd use the rosin bag mix too. He'd create his own little mix between the dirt, spit, water, and the dirt. So it shows that pitchers may be struggling to grip the ball. So maybe find something better than the rosin bag for the pitcher, so they don't use this spider tack stuff that's obviously killing hitters.
Yeah,
and people are talking about Tim Hill using
Tim
it.
Hill, yeah, it's all over Tim Hill's
like
hat
all
right
this.
here. It's all over. Like he grabs it, he tosses it up, and then he grabs it and boom. Right
someone also said, someone asked about the Bregman video. If you haven't seen the Bregman video, that's also hilarious.
Video, I love that video.
You gotta watch it. It's awesome.
But yeah, I think game is about to start. So this was fun to do. First time we've done this, so it was really cool. Got a lot of people. Also, people were talking a lot about Josh Mears. I have not been following him enough, so I need to go figure out what's going on with Josh Mears. But he was exciting in spring.
He's been doing pretty well in the minor league.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to do it to everyone. I'm not going to be here for the next couple of weeks, so it's just going to be Isaac and Chase. But yeah, we'll keep bringing Padres content, and then for sure when I come back in July, we'll probably hopefully start kind of picking up and doing a little bit more content than we are now, just because we've had a lot of growth and that's been awesome. But anything else you guys wanted to add before we take off?
Last minute predictions. Last minute game predictions.
Tati goes 4 for 4 with the cycle. Bold prediction. Make it bold.
Myers builds up this game. He hits 2 home runs and goes 3 for 3.
I'm gonna say Machado goes 2 for 5, but he has 6 RBIs.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
All right.
See you guys.
All right, later, guys.